Okay, welcome to Solutions from the South. This is my YouTube channel, and today I invite you to watch my latest video. I did one a couple of months ago on putting water in lawnmower tires to add ballast. The advantages of being a former crop consultant, as I've been in South Georgia for 47 years, is that you know a good bit about what farmers do on their farms. And one of the things they always do is they add water to their tractor tires for increased ballast and traction. Well, one of the frustrations I've had with mowing grass over the decades is a tendency of my lawnmowers to spin, especially on ditch banks, when you lose a little bit of traction from one wheel or the other. So what I'm going to show you today is a way to add ballast to your lawnmower tires. This is a rig that you can buy. This is a tire water hose rig. I went to Lowe's and bought this adapter right here, which has a cutoff tube, a cutoff valve on it. Well, what I do is I'll screw this to the tire valve. Now I've got this tire valve at about 830. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add water to this tire till I get it about 40% full. Now that's no magic formula to what percent full you get it. I just kind of picked out 40%. I would think you'd want it somewhere between 40 and 60% full. That should give at least 2.5, 3 gallons of water in this tire, which is going to add 12 to 15 pounds of weight on each wheel, which should give you a little bit better traction. Well, we take this thing and we screw it on here on the rim, on the valve stem like that. Valve core removed. Take your valve core removal tool and pull your valve stem core out of the tire first, of course. Get that thing screwed on there good and tight. And then just open this valve and let the water flow in. You might even be able to hear it going in. I'm not sure whether the microphone is picking it up that good or not. But I'm going to let it sit here and run just a few minutes, and we'll see what happens. Then I'll show you how to tell whether or not you've got enough water in it or not. I can hear the water gushing on into the tire pretty strongly right now, and it's going in there pretty good. And while we're waiting for that to happen, I'm going to share some of my corny humor with you. The CIA had an opening for an assassin. They had numerous applicants, resumes sent in for the position. Well, they went through an interview process, they checked references and candidate qualifications, and narrowed the list down to 3 final candidates, 2 men and 1 woman. Well, for the final test, they pulled all 3 of them in. They called in the first man. They handed him a revolver and pointed down the hall. And they said, your wife is in that first room down the hall on the right. Take this gun and go in there and kill her. He looked at them and he said, you guys are crazy. He said, well, do you want to be a CIA assassin? Yes, I do. Do you want to be a CIA assassin more than anything in the world? Yes, I do. Then go in there and kill your wife. You have to be ready to kill on command at a moment's notice. He said, no, as bad as I want this job, I am not going to kill my wife to get it. They said, well, take your wife and go home. They called in the second candidate, the second man. They pulled him in. They told him the same thing they told the first candidate. He took the gun and he walked a few steps toward the room and said, no, I don't want this job this badly. I'll just remove me from the candidate pool. They said, very well then, take your wife and go home. When they called in the third candidate, the woman, they told her that her husband was in the first room in the hall on the right. Well, she took the gun, she went into the room, 6 shots, one after the other, rang out. Bang, 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 bang. Well, then there was not anything happening. And then they heard all this beating and bamming and clamming. And then they heard these moans. They heard more beating and more racket. And then the moans got softer and finally stopped. The woman came out of the room and she said, "You guys must have had blanks in this gun. I had to beat him to death with the chair." She was qualified for the job. Well, now that I put the water in there, there's a relief valve. I've turned the water off with this Lowe's hose in shutoff valve. And there is a valve release pressure on here. I'm gonna press that because there'll be a little pressure on it, okay? It's all relieved, and we're gonna unscrew it. And there's water in there now. I had the water, it was squirting out there, so I had it up to the level I wanted. So I'm done putting water in this tire. And you just put the valve core back in, blow it up to the recommended air pressure levels, and you're done. Thank you for watching this video. Please remember, click like and subscribe. And I invite your comments on whether inserting a little clever or corny humor into these videos makes them any more or less appealing and watchable. Have a great day.